Hi guys, it's Tad from Kinetic Evolution. I want to talk to you today about learning how to perform a hip hinge pattern. And this is a really important, essential pattern for us to be able to learn to apply into our lifting, but then into our sprint and jump training as well. So really great, improve performance, prevent injury. So all we mean when we're talking about a hip hinge pattern is the ability to bend through the hips at the hips without bending through the spine. So that robs us of our athleticism and it can cause some serious injury. So I'm going to show you 3 quick tips to help ingrain a hip hinge pattern and then show you how we can apply it. So first tip, taking a broomstick, dowel, golf club, we're going to set it into our back so it touches our mid-back and our butt, and that way there's the natural space in our low back. From there, we want to learn to be able to feel bending through the hips without breaking or bending through the spine. Most individuals, when they go to bend through the hips, they break through the spine, and again, that robs us of our athleticism. So to really learn to load and use those hip extensors, we've got to be able to feel that ability to bend through the hips without any change in any movement through the spine. So that's the first tip, using the stick. The second tip is the ability to load your hips and not your knees. So we see this all the time where this motion is what people start to do with a hip hinge or a deadlift. So they're loading their quads and they're loading their knees, and they're not learning to move and load through the hips or the glutes and the hamstrings. So the second thing, be able to feel moving through the glutes and the hamstrings, loading that versus the knees. So the third tip is involving your shoulder girdle. So once we get that good feel controlling the spine using the hips, when we take the bar, and we're using a bar or a kettlebell, deadlifting, we want to be able to feel keeping that shoulder girdle in that good back and down position. So getting the lats and the traps involved. Not overdoing it, but holding it in that position. That really allows us to keep that core locked and load and get into those hips in a much better position, rather than losing that shoulder girdle position and getting the bar out in front. So all those 3 tips, being able to feel, right, and maintain that spine posture, loading into your hips, not your knees, and then maintaining the good shoulder girdle position, getting the lats involved, all of those will help you learn an amazing hip hinge pattern. Then, once you've got the feel of the hip hinge pattern, you can apply it in the weight room and into your sprint and jump training to improve your performance. So you can take it into exercises and perform like a deadlifting pattern using the hip hinge, or certainly using something like a kettlebell, where we're practicing the same hip hinge pattern. So now we can take that feeling of that hip hinge exercise into jump training, landing, change of direction, sprinting. So jump, land, change of direction, acceleration training. We can apply that feel of performing a good hip hinge into our dynamic exercise. So it's an absolutely fundamental movement pattern that we want to learn, ingrain, take into the weight room, practice in the weight room, and then transfer into our dynamic exercise. So I cannot stress enough to learn and practice a proper hip hinge pattern. It'll really, really help you from your injury prevention standpoint, but then also from a performance standpoint as well. So good luck with that, guys. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.